Picture it. You're an engineer aboard the New York subway system. You're traveling down the line, probably enjoying a rather unremarkable early spring day. You head to your stops, like always, carrying the commuters along their other, probably rather unremarkable days. The route is familiar to you. You see trees, you see buildings, you see fences, you see the Toddler on the tracks, and you... The what? The day was April 6, 2023. Yes, I'm aware this is a pretty recent story, but it is in the past, and I've talked about recent stuff before, and I thought it deserved some attention. And the incident involved the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, the ones responsible for the metro system in New York City. The train was traveling northbound with operator William Kennedy at the controls. As the train went down the track at approximately 70 miles per hour, Kennedy found himself completely and totally unspeakably horrified to see a child running along the line. And, well, naturally, he should not be on the tracks. There was no sign of any adults in the vicinity, and Kennedy immediately slammed on the brakes. Fortunately, the toddler was not on the track that Kennedy's train was traveling down, and immediately got on the radio. Kennedy's train had been traveling south, and the crew aboard the northbound train 737 heard his call and managed to stop before getting, well, too close to where this kid was. They traveled a bit further at very slow speed until they got a better look around a curve in the line. They saw the kid too, and then assistant conductor Marcus Higgins jumped off the train to try to get this kid off the tracks.
Roger, stop south of Chevy Yard. No, don't do that. Where you going? What are you... Metronor 737, see, I need that rail killed immediately, over.
By this time, he was actually walking on top of an electrified rail. As most of you are probably aware, the New York City metro system uses third rails to power the trains. That's one of the major reasons, other than the obvious, that you don't walk on these rails. But this was a kid, a very young kid. He didn't know any better.
He's on the third rail. Metronor 737C, this toddler's right on the third rail, over.
And according to reports, the only reason he didn't die from doing this is that there was a wooden buffer near the third rail specifically to prevent people from getting electrocuted quite as easily as they otherwise would. Kennedy had already asked that the third rail be shut off, but that hadn't happened by this point. All this was occurring within the span of about 5 minutes or so. Higgins managed to run down the line while the electricity was still pulsing through that rail and get this kid off the tracks before something terrible happened. He was able to bring the kid on board the train and then proceed to figure out, well, how did a toddler get on the tracks? Well, fortunately, it didn't take very long to figure that part out either. See, while this was all going on, two signal maintainers, Max Chong and Christopher Freyna, actually stumbled upon a mother and daughter on a nearby street corner. The mother was apparently frantic, as she was missing her child. He had run off, and according to her, had pretty severe autism. Local police arrived on scene and did have a report of a missing child. The rail workers then explained that they had heard on the radio that a child had been found, and the woman was brought back where she was reunited with her little boy. The kid's name, it turned out, was Waylon, and he was only 3. Apparently, he'd gotten away from his mother and tumbled over a wall, and then climbed over the rails because, well, he was 3, he really didn't know any better. But the mother was exceedingly grateful to have her son back. She said, in Spanish, that it was a miracle from God. The employees involved in the rescue, in particular Higgins and Kennedy, were honored by MTA President Catherine Rinaldi. As she put it, with the bravery and calm comportment of superheroes, they averted a horrific outcome. Higgins and Kennedy would go on to do some news interviews and explain that a lot could have gone wrong in this situation. Kennedy pointed out that if his train had just been 5 minutes late or 5 minutes early, he wouldn't have seen Waylon when he did. And Higgins said that, God forbid, this could have gone in a totally different direction. But regardless of how bad it could have gone, the point here, I think, is that it didn't, thanks to the situational awareness of some of the MTA employees, and some luck involving train scheduling. I imagine Waylon's mother is going to keep a much closer eye on the kid from now on, and I personally am especially thankful that I have a happy end to this otherwise somewhat horrifying story. And with that, a special thank you to all my underwater train finders, Some Dude 267, Orange Glass, Benjamin Owens, Panzer Kitsune 131-232, Josh Johnson, Metal for Life Guy, Anzac A1, Arthur Roy, Tommy Rossini, Lord Captain Von Thrust III, Brian, Jack Carson's Railroad Videos, Hayden DeGrow, Master of None, Lord Hawk 444, Mark Holding, Murder Drone Stall, A-Person 723, DM Tribal Typhoon, Alfonso Lapuche, Royal Hudson 2860, Isurfer 1405, Charles Kwiatkowski, Matthew Wolf, Mr. Sleepy, Matt Weaver, Alaric Jaspers, Tom Red Lion, NS Productions 8104, Hannah Bird, Hendrick Motorsports Fan 5, Wheeljack 8401, Rescues, Greyhounds, Dr. Racer 78, The Baxter, Caleb Crosswhite, Ohio Trucker 1, and Joshua Long. Till next time, this is Darkness, and I bid you all a fond farewell.